Your professor, David Britt. Welcome to ECBA 403, Organizational Behavior. I am thrilled to have you in this class and look forward to the discoveries that we are all going to have over the next few weeks. I've always enjoyed discussing the concepts in organizational behavior because organizations are really living and breathing. I like to think of organizations as things that are alive, that are thrilling, that are disappointing, that are changing all the time. They have personalities. Organizations have culture. And just as soon as you think you have it figured out as a manager and as a leader, that organization may change. And certainly over the last few years, organizational behavior has changed. Part of it was just natural evolution of organizations and workplace environments. But part of it was brought on by COVID and how organizations had to adapt, sometimes kicking and screaming to changes, be it remote versus on-site working, and organizations are still debating that today, and how it is to manage remote workers versus workers that you see every day. And over the past few years, DEI came on relatively quickly. It became one of the largest managerial higher positions out there. And now, to a certain extent, DEI is going away as quickly as it came on, because it's gotten some bad press in some areas. And so, as I mentioned, organizational behavior does change. And this course is going to touch on many of these. We're going to have some textbook readings where you're going to learn the verbiage and the different concepts that are in baseline organizational behavior. So you'll read about those in the textbook. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be interspersing real life current examples based upon my experience of, nearly 40 years now in organizations. And so some of the things may seem ancient to some of you. Some of you, they may seem good. Some of them, they may seem bad. But it'll be things hopefully we all can discuss. I'll do those via videos. Each week I will have in the announcements, which I encourage you to make sure that you look at the announcements each week. At the end of the week, I will do a recap of that week. And typically those will be done in video where they'll be less than 5 minutes long. You'll see my ugly mug and I'll talk about the highlights for that particular week. But you'll also see them in discussion forums. Now, in the classes that I teach, and I don't teach in the undergraduate program very much, I teach mainly in the graduate program, but I like to participate in the discussion forums. And so we have discussions each week, and what you're going to see in the discussion forums are videos from me where I'm talking specifically about that particular concept. Now, you won't be able to view my discussion post until you post one yourself. But if you respond to my discussion forum post, then that counts as one of your 2 responses. So make sure that you do that, okay? This class is interesting in that when it was designed as one that has the typical quizzes. So if I go down here to week 1, you're going to see under the do this week, you're going to see that you have the introduce yourself, and you have another discussion where you have to have an initial post and 2 response posts. But you'll see case studies, and these case studies come from inside the book. And so as you go into these case studies, it will give you a situation, and then it will ask several questions at the end. So you'll be able to look at those and apply your thoughts and ideas behind that. Now, I want you to have these formatted. I don't necessarily need them to be as research papers, but I do want them with some format. And if you use external sources, which I recommend that you do, make sure that you format those to APA. Also, make sure that you use headings. You can treat each question as a heading, but try to format them so that you're not just repeating the question. And then also make sure that you have an introduction and conclusion in each one of those. And then you're going to have a test, 60-minute time limit. I think they're 25 questions over the reading materials. Now, the tests are ones where I can really tell the people who have read and who have not read the textbooks. Okay? And then here in week 1, I want you to draw specific attention to this because you're going to have a cumulative course project that you're going to receive in week 1, but it's not due until the final week. So if there are, I'm just going to use this as a round number, if there are 10 people in the class historically, 2 of them have started on that course project early on and gotten finished early and are able to breathe, and the final 8 wait till the very last week. And I can always tell who waited to the very last week. And so there are some instructions here on the course project, what you're to do. There are also a reprint of the textbook because you're using a case from the textbook. And then what I want you to do is I want you to create a PowerPoint presentation, and then you'll have voiceovers in that. So I not only want to see what you're putting together, I want to hear what you're putting together. And so this tutorial here from YouTube will show you how to do that. Now, again, if you wait and start doing this week 7 and you can't figure out how to do the audio, I'm going to know that you waited till week 7 and you didn't do it early. So I would encourage you to look at this and at least begin to put together your ideas for that course project. Okay? Let's see. What else do we have? Again, make sure you look at the announcements each week. By the time we get finished, there'll probably be about 15 or 20 or so in there. Make sure you look in the grade book for your grades. I make extensive comments in the grade book. And so in order for you to see my thoughts, you have to go into the grade book, and sometimes you'll click on a box and you'll see my comments down the right-hand margins of your paper. Okay? Thrilled to have you in the class. If there's anything I can do for you, please reach out. Look forward to the next few weeks together. Take care.